Hello, and welcome to my Quake Champions basic movement guide. Today we're going to be going over crouch sliding, CPMA movement, and just basic strafe jumping. Thanks for watching, and hope you enjoy. So to start off, I would recommend getting in a private match by yourself. Go to custom game on the far right side, go to team deathmatch or any other game mode, 75, score doesn't matter. Time limit 30, save as much time. I recommend Blood Covenant, one of the best movement maps around, like hands down. There's so many different jumps and different sections you can like try to get to with your movement. It's great for practicing. Alright, so now that we've got the map selected, let's actually go over the first thing, strafe jumping. Alright, so to start off, let's get your settings set up right. So for me personally, I have the speedometer set to below crosshair. You can also have it set below your portrait, just so you can see how fast you're going, so when you're practicing, you can see your speeds and what speeds it takes to clear certain gaps and everything. I also recommend having enabled direction hints. This will really help for this video, where you can see which keys I'm actually hitting as I'm moving to get the speed that I'm getting. Arrows like these will appear in the middle of the screen where my crosshair is. Use these as hints on what I'm trying to say. Right? So the left arrow means that I'm holding A, the right arrow means I'm holding D, the arrow going downward means I'm holding S, and the arrow going forward means I'm holding W. So in Quake Champions, each player has a set movement, right? Slashes right here is 320. As you're just walking and you're not doing anything, it's 320. Jumping without looking is also 320, just like this. Right? Right. Now strafe jumping is like this. The speedometer tells you how fast you're moving on the map. See, I got up to 600 right there. Now let's break down how to strafe jump just like that, in a straight line. You pick up speed as you're traveling across the map. Strafe jumping is actually fairly simple. As you're moving in a straight line while jumping, you move your mouse slowly back and forth to gain speed. You only gain speed whenever you look to either side. If you look in a straight line, you don't gain any speed. So as I travel right here down the thing, look how I'm just moving my mouse back and forth, right? So I hold A and look left, and I hold D and look right, all while holding W at the same time. Now that you actually know how strafe jumping works, as in you gain speed by looking while jumping in a straight line, right? Well, you don't actually have to jump in a straight line. Let me show a bunch of examples like this one, where you can actually use strafe jumping to get across the map in different ways. You can also go around corners and keep some of your speed with strafe jumping. Now that you know the basics of strafe jumping, let's get into crouch sliding. Crouch sliding is an exclusive mechanic for movement only on Strafe Jumping and Slash. Both characters' speed differs a little bit, where Slash can definitely go a lot faster than Strafe Jumping. Strafe Jumping seems to stay in the 600s, like 625-ish whenever he's going. Slash, as you can see right here, gets up to 750 and just flies like a madwoman around the freaking arena. She is absolutely, I believe, correct me if I'm wrong in the comments, the fastest character in the game. She can clear the most gaps, the easiest, and she just is insane. That's why I main her, because I love movement in games. So, let's get into how to crouch slide, because it is my favorite movement set. So to start off, when you're crouch sliding, you want to jump a lot. Every single time you jump right before you hit the ground, you want to crouch. Once you crouch, you begin your slide. As you're sliding, you want to hit the corresponding key with the direction of your mouse. So if you want to turn right, you hold D and you move your mouse to the right. If you want to move left, you hold your A and then you move your mouse to the left. Now, while going in a straight line, you can move your mouse back and forth while hitting the corresponding key, as you can see above. So whenever I turn left and right, you can see I switch between A and D constantly, all while holding W. Never let go of W. Trying to crouch slide while holding A and D without W is bad. It feels really weird and it's not efficient. Right here is an example of a J slide. You start in a spot and you make kind of like a J shape. You do the bottom curvy part of the J while holding, let's say from this example, you'd hold D and W at the same time, and you jump and crouch and then you make a kind of the bottom half of the J and go straight. This can gain massive speed very quickly. You can also use rocket jumps with your sliding to get massive speed and air. So like right here is a prime example of where I can jump over this bridge and get to the armor as fast as freaking possible with a rocket jump and a slide combo. Once you master how to use crouch sliding, it's actually incredible. Slash, you can do a lot more with crouch sliding than Strog and Peeker, but look at what I can do right here. Look how fast you can get around the map, including rocket jumps with it as well. It's freaking awesome. I would like to add one extra tip before we move on to CPMA movement. Your crouch or your slide time for one continuous slide without jumping is based off of the height that you fall from. So as you can see right here, I just slid all the way to armor from mega health, right? Now watch how far I can travel if I'm not falling from a height and I'm just at ground level. Horrible. That's all you can go. So the higher you fall from, the longer your slide lasts. Why it's set up like that, I don't know. That's just the mechanic. Before we move on to CPMA, I want to actually show you one thing with the gravity lifts in the game. If you just jump onto a gravity lift, it does this, right? Right here in the air, you're at the peak of your height, and you're actually a really, really easy target to hit, especially if they have a railgun out. So what you can do to avoid this is actually grab the ledge. If you hit control right whenever you're near the lips, you have to be pressed up against the wall. If you hit your crouch button, you actually grab the ledge and you go right up top with the platform. CPMA movement is actually very similar to strafe jumping, but it's much, much more controllable. You can go around corners way easier. You can keep all your speed. It's incredible. CPMA movement is exclusive only to Anarchy and Sorlag. So if you want to use this, you got to play either one of them. With CPMA movement, you actually don't want to hold W at all. The initial startup, you're going to hold W just to get your initial 300 and whatever speed. And then you only hold A and D. You gain movement, just like with strafe jumping, by looking left or right and holding the corresponding key. But the difference is you have complete control. If you play Doom Eternal and you use the air control room in campaign, it's kind of similar to that. Or if you play CSGO and you know that A and D actually gives you air control and you can move in the air, right? So as you can see with all this footage right here, I'm only holding A or D. I'm not holding W at all. And as I look left and hold A, I move to the left. And as I hold D and look to the right, I move right. If you turn on a corner way too fast, so if you don't have smooth enough movement or you try to make too big of a turn, you actually lose all of your speed. And you're just a sitting duck, right? So you can still get caught on geometry and everything just like everyone else. But right there, I held W, I started going forward, and then I let go of W and only used A and D. The only time you use W is whenever you want to get your initial speed. Right here is an example of starting up your speed with just A and D, no W at all. Watch how slow it is. Now watch with using W as the initial startup speed. That about covers it. Once again, this was just a basic movement guide. There's a lot of other movement tools in the game and ways to get around the map and little special things you can do to increase your movement in your game and make sure you're as fast as humanly possible in this game. Other characters have some special movement tools, but they're not like a base movement. I just wanted to use this video as like a, hey, this is how you move around in the game. Don't just walk, because that is one of the biggest barriers into playing Quake Champions, or any Quake game at that, is the movement. The movement is everything. If you're not getting around the map and controlling the map and getting the goals, like the quad damage or the mega health or the mega armor, any of that stuff, right? Or sorry, not mega armor, it's a heavy armor. Someone's gonna like comment on that. Hey, you said mega armor, not heavy. Whatever. Anyway, if you're not getting around the map and controlling the weapons, controlling the health and the armor and everything, you're gonna be losing. And a lot of people get turned off from this game because they don't understand how to move fast. So I hope I could use this guide to just show you a little bit how to move better in the game. Obviously, there's a lot of stuff missed out, so if there's any advanced techniques you want me to put in an advanced movement guide, please let me know in the comments below. If you want to give me a full list of anything that I should add to an advanced movement guide, let me know. I'll do it. I'll make a video for it. It'd be great. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you in Quake Champions.